Hey everybody, welcome to Zenny62 Live. Hey Octavio, how are you? And I'm out here, welcome. And you would say, hey, what's the news with Tom Brady retiring? Well, according to Ian Rappaport now about 35 minutes ago, Tom Brady announced he was going to retire. And Ian put this out on a tweet. When I saw it, it was 18 minutes into the life of the tweet. And I immediately put out a vlog. So it's uh, the end of an era. The end of an era. But it also means that the upcoming, I think, really exciting match, Super Bowl 52, the rematch pitting the Philadelphia Eagles against the New England Patriots will be that much more exciting because we'll have Tom Brady playing his last game. How about that? And that, according to Ian Rappaport, the NFL Network, via tweet, um, 18 minutes into it, and yeah, now, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, and not only is it absolutely unbelievable, it's you know, it's about time. I mean, the man can't play forever, okay? He cannot play forever. Forever. Can he? Can he? Can he? I do wonder about that. Can Tom Brady play forever? Ooh. Hey, you know what? I was, yeah, this is fake news. Because here, get this, all right? Tom Brady is not, this is where I got this from. And I did check my source. And I'm glad you, look at this. Right there, okay? And so, this is a fake, I saw this and just reacted. This is fake. It says, correction, all right? He says it's hilarious. I put the wrong number, fell for it. It was a trick, all right? See that right there, okay? I saw Ian Rappaport and fell for it. So I was had by a fake news tweet. Wow, how about that? Well, so I have to change the title, folks. Hold on a second. And yeah, let me change that title real quick. That's interesting. So I got to say Tom Brady is not retiring. Hold on a second, because I fell for it. Because I saw, what happened was I saw Ian's picture. That's wrong. That should be against Twitter law. There should be a law against that, because, hold on a second, let me go back here and fix that. So, one moment, please. And let's see here. Now, wouldn't it be something if after all this Tom Brady did wind up and, retire, right? But let me get to this and change it before this gets out after the live stream. So I'm glad you all, said that. And let me get that right here. Tom Brady not to retire is what I'm going to say right here. Hey, that happens. And the thing about it is it's, lesson learned about the credibility of a source. So I'm so used to Ian and seeing that face and thinking, wow, he's got the inside track. Because that's the way they do it with the NFL, right? They give the NFL Network the news. And I just saw it and reacted like, wow, wait a minute, let me get this out. Because it was 18 minutes into the tweet, right? Tom Brady not to retire. Not. So I'm writing Tom Brady not to retire. I've updated that. Tom Brady not to retire. There we go. And sorry, Barry Lee, because I know Barry Lee had put out on the comment, yes, in my other video, okay? And Tom Brady not to retire. And I said it was Ian Rappaport. Sorry, Ian. Tom Brady not to retire at all. And in a way, you know what? I'm relieved. I'm glad he's not retiring because I didn't want to see. I wasn't ready for him to go out. I'm not. I'm just like, no, come on, man. You're not done. You're not done. Don't retire. I am happy he's not retiring. Now let me go and get to your questions and take my lumps for making the mistake. But hey, I admit it. I made a mistake. All right. That's just no shame in my game there. I made a mistake. But again, it simply points to the assumed credibility of the source. You know, we always look to Ian Rappaport. I saw his photograph. I didn't see the fine print like, hey, that's not his account, right? And the timing was just perfect. So the guy that put it out there, a guy or gal, whatever, is having a field day laughing and yucking it up and everything. Oh boy. Not cool at all. All right, let me tweet this out. Eric Young says Brady should retire should he win yet his 6th Super Bowl. Octavio Arias says blank bait Brady. Rick Rice says I don't want him to retire. I want the Raiders to beat him when he is at his best. See, that's my feeling, Rick. That's exactly my feeling. That's why I was actually sad because I'm thinking, man, we won't get another shot at him. That's exactly what was going through my head. That's precisely what was going through my head. Joseph Benzo says, yeah, I wouldn't believe it. I could see at least 2 to 5 years of Brady and Belichick. Otis B says, wait, Tom Brady retiring? I thought him not retiring was one of the reasons the Patriots cheering Jimmy G. Exactly. And Octavia says, give us the link to the tweet. Let me show you where I got that from. I thought I did, but if I didn't, here it is one more time. Look at this. You got to see this. This is it, okay? This is the guy. He says, he thinks it's hilarious, all right? And he said he put in the wrong Roman numerals people still fell for. He thinks it's funny. And he did put in, saw was this, breaking, Tom Brady announced he was retiring. And he's right. It's the wrong Roman numerals, but people make those mistakes all the time. Okay? And that's all I fell, I fell for it. So then he goes, LII, you go, come on, let's send him off right. Ian Rappaport breaking, right? And then he retweets it, and then he thinks this is funny, okay? And then he says, correction, Super Bowl 52. And then he says, not changing my pro pick and name back until the morning. I love that I made the mistake of putting up Super Bowl 12 instead of Super Bowl 52. And then he's changed his name and all this. That's his pinned tweet, all right? And he's gotten one more new tweet up here. And it says, I think he should take it down. This is not right for him to use Ian's picture like that. I think that's wrong. I really do. And because when you're trying to report, real stuff going on, that's not the way to do it. And so now I've got to straighten out the fact that I was duped. Hey, I fell for it. And let me straighten this out here. It's Tom Brady to not retire. Actually, it is out there, okay? Tom Brady to not retire. And so, let's see here. I'm writing on Twitter, wrong. I was tricked by fake Twitter account. Tom Brady. Got to do this sometimes, folks. Tom Brady not retiring as of now. Okay? So there you go. Put it out there. Tom Brady not retiring as of now. And that's that. All right? So, hey, look. Again, I say this. I was tricked. Now, and so we've got, and it is someone's fake news. And that's, apparently that's it. So we've got that cleared up, all right? Now, let's talk about what happened today. And let me get the rest of your comments. Hennessy says, hey, Hennessy says, Tom will retire next year when the Raiders win the AFC Championship game. Rick Rice says, I want to see Khalil Mack walking on Brady's sternum. Jesus. Eric Young says, I'd rather Derek Carr or any Raiders QB surpass Tom Brady in spite of the fact it may not happen in my lifetime. Black Lion Supreme says, one love Raider Nation. Joseph Minsman says, Jaguars blew it. They got too conservative with that offensive play calling, especially in the fourth quarter. They did. Oh, by the way, how about the fact that Cam Robinson emerged as a starter for the Jaguars and has had an excellent rookie season? Just want to point that out. The guy that the Raiders should have drafted, okay? Hey, Barry Lee. Let's see here. Barry Black Lion says, I knew that was a joke. I'm glad you knew it, Black Lion, because, look, as they say, the joke's on me, right? There you go. Citron says, Brady said he's going to pay until 45. Octavio says, what's the account of the fake tweet? I believe I showed you that one. Barry Lee says, well, it was a nice dream. Steve Macy, who said the Jags are going to win. Steve Macy writes this. He writes, my question for you on Twitter was, is Las Vegas counting on their busy times of the year hotel tax-wise to have a surplus to cover the slow times of the year? When is there a deficit? Well, there's a deficit now. And no, that's not it. Steve, what it is that the original forecast, in fact, I'll make it really simple. Originally, they expected to get about $5 million a month from hotel tax revenue. Okay, maybe about 4.5 million a month, somewhere in there. But the actual average is now at 3.8 million a month. So it's way lower. And the reason it is for something that I pointed to, a problem I pointed to way back in April of last year, where I said the stadium tax rate was at 88/100% is simply too small. So it doesn't matter. They can sit back and pray and hope that they get better, better tourism numbers. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to say this, and I'll get back to the rest of your comments. Hey, Las Vegas, absent its conventions, is in trouble. We were there after CES, and yeah, there were people around and everything else, but compared to CES, Las Vegas, in large part, looked like a ghost town. So they can thank the heavens for their convention business. The convention business is up, but the casual vacationer is down. And something else too, the slot machines aren't paying and people aren't winning a lot. You might have a hotel saying, well, we gave away $6 million in wins last month, but that had to be some high roller. The Common Joes and Josephines weren't seeing that dough, except if you went to play slots at the Cosmopolitan where one guy won $1 million. But my point, that's at the Cosmopolitan. It's not happening, but I digress. Let me get back to your. So Eric Young says, Vikings blew it, huh? And then got blown out. Joseph Binsman says, Vikings were lucky to get to today. Last week was a nod from the football gods. Yeah, it would appear so. Octavio says, type it please, type what? Otis B, can you clarify that? Otis B says, Vikings Eagles shocked that it was a blowout. I am too. So Otis B says he's shocked that it was a blowout. I am too. Was kind of hoping, this is Otis B writing this, that the Vikings would host their own Super Bowl. Me too. I thought that would have been so cool, but it didn't happen. Rick Rice says Breeze could have beat the Eagles today. Barry Lee says, can't wait for Tuesday. Yes, the resurgence of the Oakland fans / Forever Oakland lawsuit effort. Otis B says, and I'll fill you in more on that in a little bit. Otis B says, guess we'll have to wait and see if the Falcons can host their own Super Bowl in the ATL next year. I'm doubting that one. I think it'll be interesting, but with the Eagles and other organizations, I'm also just not jazzed about Steve Sarkisian and how he handled the Falcons offense. I just want to get that out of the way. Rick Rice says they will, Otis, and it'll be against the Raiders. The Falcons against the Raiders. That's your early prediction, Rick Rice? Nah, I'll take you on that one. Octavio Arias says the tweet account of the fake news. Oh, I showed you that. I'm happy to show you again. It's right here. In fact, the specific account is this. It is. I'll you want the link to it? I guess is what you're saying, right? One moment, I'm getting you the link right now. Give me one. As soon as this, Octavio, as soon as this page finishes rendering, I am copying the link, which is what I just did. Then I'm going to our page, and right now I am putting the arrow in, and it should, and it didn't. Hold on a second. I know what's happening here. Being slowed down by a wayward application I don't want to open. Hold on a second here. Force quit. I have a bunch of applications that should not be open that are open. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Force quit, and they're all quitting. And once they quit, I'll get this doggone buffering I'm experiencing will stop forthwith, and then I will. There is my URL. Let me do that one more time. Boom. All right, and then boom. Now, thank you for sending that tweet, Barry Lee. There that is. You probably can't read that. No, you can't. Let me try something here. Boom. How come that won't render? Hold on a second. Let me try this again. And this is really odd. Hold on a second. It will not render. I'm gonna have to use a different browser at some point. Firefox is not. Oh, why? You know what? Firefox is doing its double and triple copying what I. There it is. Let me try that. Is that it? It's double, triple copying what I do here. And so that it? That is it. All right. Try that. That should do it. Yeah. That's it, Octavio. That link works. Try that link. That's the link to the fake Twitter account. All right? Try that. Sorry about that. It's just that this dang thing is buffering, like, for whatever reason. But I made it stop buffering. Ta-da. Now, okay. Who will win Super Bowl? You're welcome. Who will win Super Bowl 52? I say it's going to be, especially since Tom Brady isn't retiring, I'm going to go and I'm going to pick the Eagles. They have the better defense, and they have an excellent running game, and they have a great defense against the run. So the Eagles should win, should beat the defending Super Bowl champions. That's the way it should line up. Joseph Binden says, watching the Jags game after they made it 20-10, I was saying to my dad, they need a touchdown to seal the deal until the Jags definitely didn't seem to want one. You can't run out the clock on Brady. No, you can't. No, You cannot run out the clock on Brady. No. And but I think the problem with the Jaguars' approach wasn't really their fault. It was the way New England plays the game. And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to let that go. It means that it reminds me of something that Bill Walsh once said about Joe Montana. He said that he's so good. He said this about another player as well, that he transcends the rules of the game. I'm going to amend that. The Patriots understand how to use the rules of the game against you. Okay? For example, that throw to Brandon Cooks down the left sideline that got the pass interference call in the third quarter that set up the Patriots touchdown that started the comeback. Brady threw that as if he knew he was going to get that PI. Okay? Okay, I really do. He threw that as if he knew he was going to get the PI. He really did. So, hold on a second. Now, I don't believe in my heart of hearts that had the Patriots not done that, they would have won. But the Patriots are desperate to win. They are the poster child of the organization that will find any angle, any strategy, any maneuver, any edge. They will do anything to win. And we saw that today. They got a gift off the Jaguars' over-aggressive play, that concussion that caused Gronkowski to go out, but it set them up for their first scoring drive, before the half ended. And they came out in the second half saying, hey, look, the Jaguars defenders are handsy. They're putting their hands on us. We're going to use that against them. Tell the referees, hey, they're being handsy and you need to make the calls. And then we're going to, Tom Brady, put the ball where the ref can see that the Jaguars are being handsy, make the call, and then we get our field position. So that becomes one more arrow in their quiver of ways they can hurt you. Again, the Patriots use the rules against you. They're very good at it. So, Go CSU says, well, my birthday was wish went kaboom. Sorry about that, Go CSU. He was upset about it. Joseph Bismuth says, have to put your opponent away when you have them by the throat. You do, but you also have to be aware. You have to make sure you're not putting yourself in a position to commit self-inflicted wounds. Let's face it, Joseph, the Jaguars had a lot of penalty yards. By that time, I believe, 98 yards. I'm going to check in a second to see what their total was, but oh my God, it's horrible. And so it was absolutely horrible. In fact, let me see what that was right here. And is anyone else experiencing buffering, by the way? Just asking. Yes or no? I don't see. Nope. Okay, good. No. Nope. Okay, good. It's just me. That's good news. Awesome. As long as it's just me, I'm fine. I'm happy. And let's see here. All right, so moving along from there, I am going to go and now check the statistics. And I know Go Warriors is going to do his own recap of the game, so I don't want to step on his thunder. Go Warriors, I don't want to step on your thunder later. But I want to do a recap of the game, and then I want to move toward talking about the lawsuit. Now I'm going to do this in a different way because I have access to, because I am a part of NFL Media. So I'm going to go to the NFL Media website and see if there were any quotes from the press conferences that may have been posted, and go from there. I'll tell you, is Forever Oakland using the same lawyers in the lawsuit? The answer is no. Not only that, they're being kind of hush-hush about exactly who the lawyers are, but what happened was this, okay? Was that the St. Louis announcement that remember when the judge basically ordered or gave the plaintiffs the chance to fight their battle out in court and go to trial after the NFL's attempt to dismiss the case was denied? Remember that? Okay. From what I'm told, that opened up the floodgates to a number of attorneys contacting the Oakland Fan Coalition and Ray Bobbitt, saying, hey, look, we think you've got a better case than St. Louis. We'll take your case on contingency, no loss to the taxpayer. You don't have to worry about a thing. That's how all this started. And so that's how all this started. And the feeling is that Forever Oakland did its thing. Maybe it was a little too aggressive, but still very much involved. You know, don't want to give the idea that that's not the case. No, 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 no. But the county, a number of people felt, was more willing to go along with a lawsuit or some kind of legal challenge than the city. And so this effort is a County of Alameda driven effort. Now, what does that say for what the city of Oakland might do? Sit back and, well, the city won't sit back and watch, okay? The city can't sit back and watch because it is part owner of the Coliseum. It has a responsibility to take a stand of some kind, even if it says, hey, look, the county wants to lead this, by all means. So that's where the picture looks, that's what the picture looks like right now. All right? That's what the picture looks like right now. And so Barry Lee says, yay, lawsuit news. Now, going back to your comments, we've got, okay, Benjamin says, to respond to the question you asked about the Super Bowl, I just don't feel there's any way the Patriots are going to lose. If Donovan McNabb's Eagles team comes up short, this team won't do it. And Black Lion Supreme says, and New England had one penalty, I believe they always get the calls, and that's the reason I picked them to win the Super Bowl. See, to me, they create the calls. It's not so much they get the calls, they create them. If they see that you're being overly aggressive with their receivers, they will set you up so the referee sees that and the penalty is called against you. That's what they do. So and then we've got Rick Rice says the NFL is rigged. After the game, the head ref went up to Brady and patted him on the back and said congratulations. I don't think that's exactly exemplary of rigging. The ref would have done that either way. Let's see, I came and left. It says, do you think the Eagles can beat the Patriots? Yes, I'm favoring the Eagles. The Eagles have elements of surprise in being the underdogs. They can beat the defense. But what I like about the Eagles is how flexible their offense is. It really is a model of modern design. It features a combination of run-pass option plays, option routes with the receivers, nomenclature that allows the offense to be quickly adjustable by the quarterback. What I mean by that, sounding gobbledygook is if you're the quarterback, you can make a certain call at the line that changes a post pattern to an in pattern, for example, if that's what's called for in a particular play. And as far as run pass options, there are a number of plays the Eagles run that where you can, if the defensive end, for example, is set up in such a way it's really outside, you can hand off and take advantage of that hole. Or if the defensive end is inside, you can simply fake the handoff and throw, right? That's an example. Now, of course, you have to make sure the safety is positioned outside just so, but then if that wasn't the case, that particular play would have been called. The beauty of these combinations also is out of necessity. The current collective bargaining agreement in the National Football League is such that coaches don't have as much time to teach an offense, let alone a complicated one, to the players as they did, say, when Gruden was coaching the Raiders in '98. So you have to have a more packaged system that's easy to understand, easy to coach, and therefore more likely to be well executed, yet flexible enough to take advantage of the different situations a defense would present. So I think the Eagles offense does that better than most. Now, I think I've got Go CSU says the refs can't celebrate the Patriots when they can't do that. Ed says great technique on that PI against the Jags, and tuck again, huh? I don't think it's a tuck rule, and I really believe it's more of a. It's not a tuck rule. You know, I think it really is more of. I think it's more of a setup. Now the tuck rule just happened. That's not something you can say, hey, the Pats set that up. That was simply a call that went against the Raiders that looked like the refs wanted the Pats to win. That was in 2001. I'm sorry. That's the way it looked to me. I don't care what anyone says. I know there are a number of Raider fans that agree with me. There are a number of Pats fans that disagree. But anybody watching the tuck rule play would come away with that and say, hey, you know what? The Raiders caused a fumble. Game ball to the Raiders. Forget the tuck rule, Jazz. Okay? So, this question is, do you think Belichick is done after this year? No. Given then this person continues to write, given that parts of his power were taken away by Kraft, too much interference from the owner in favor of Brady? No, I don't buy all that garbage. I just don't. That's it's really unfortunate. There's certain people who feel like they have to run with rumors like that, and they add nothing to anyone's understanding of the game. It becomes football as Peyton Place, you know, soap opera. What good does it do? And so what? You know, it doesn't make any sense. They're making a great deal of money. They're very successful. They're loved in the community. What's the point? You know, I didn't even bother to read where that came from. I thought it was just garbage. When I first heard it, I thought, really? And written by someone, I'm not going to say names, who, if I put this person in a room with a whiteboard, couldn't even draw out a football game plan for me. Couldn't do it. Okay? So I really believe that there should be a sunset on people who write on the NFL who don't know the game of football. If you can't, from a blank page or blank screen or blank whiteboard, write a play that everyone else can look at and say, hey, that works, or criticize it, the way I look at things, you have no business writing about football. And there are a number of women who know more about the game than the men that write about it. So that's not, and I want to make this absolutely clear, this is not having nothing to do with anything that is having to do with gender. No, don't even think that. Those of you who watch this on a regular basis, saw my interview with Dr. Jen Walter, who's former Arizona Cardinals coach and the first woman coach in the NFL. Linebacker coach, knows as much scheme as anybody else, and should be a coach. Should be on the Raiders staff, I contend. Oh, by the way, Ken Norton is defensive coordinator. Hey, I told you. Now, getting back to your comments. It says, Ed says, same things in different circumstances and penalty. ID says, Jags really dropped the ball. Reminded me of last year's Super Bowl. Barry Lee says, just saw on the news where a car drove onto the sidewalk in San Francisco. Lots of damages, but no injuries. Thank God for that. Black Lion says, the Liberty Bell versus the Boston Tea Party. An all-American Super Bowl where the league, which is what the league wanted, in my opinion. You know, I didn't think about it that way. That's interesting, Black Lion. I felt that the league wanted the matchup between the Eagles and Philadelphia for ratings reasons. If you have the Vikings people watching their own team, right, then it takes the Philadelphia people out of the equation. They're not interested in it. So if you have one metropolitan area watching the game, and it's the one that's hosting the Super Bowl, and you know that because they're hosting the game, a lot of a lot of Vikings fans are going to wind up watching the Super Bowl anyway, right? Well, you'd rather have a situation where the team from the NFC isn't the Vikings, Therefore, you've got one more metropolitan area, a giant one, that's assured of watching. And then get this, you have the whole eastern seaboard, for the most part, arguably, focused on the Super Bowl. Because you've got, think about it, you've got, here's the United States, here's the Atlantic Ocean over here, okay? And then you've got Boston, New York, Philadelphia over here. You know, rope in the Steelers fans who want to see the Patriots get slapped, and you get the idea. You've got the Browns fans over here who are pissed off, and circle back down to south here where you've got the Jaguar fans who are pissed off. And so, you know, you've got all these, think about it, you've got all these fans in the East, which is a huge population unto itself, focused on this game. And they represent the most active and rabid and intense and deep and longest fan bases in NFL history. So, yeah, that's the combination the league wanted. It's the combination that I wanted to see, but I really didn't think it was going to happen. I thought the Vikings were a team of destiny. Obviously, wrong. So, Joseph Bensman says, one thing was proven today and last week, Bortles is the quarterback for Jacksonville. Yes, he really proved it today versus the Steelers. And you know what? It's interesting because Bortles was compared to Ben Roethlisberger coming out of college. And it's interesting to play against Roethlisberger and win, although I blame the Steelers' loss more on the lousy game plan. I mean, it was really bad of their now ex-offensive coordinator. And so Joseph Benza says it reminds him, talking about the Jags, of the way his New York Giants, no, he says my Giants, like to run their offense. Super conservative, predictable runs, setting up long third downs, which we rarely execute. A little design would be nice. Crawford 371, how you doing? Crawford says that Eagles fans make Raider fans look like Boy Scouts. I have to agree. And yeah, there are videos of like Eagles fans fighting Redskins fans. I mean, like, you know, that sort of thing and everything. I'm thinking, really, these folks get drunk and they got nothing better to do? And so Otis says that's a good point about the metropolitan area. Either way, though, I still think everyone will watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, and I don't mean to imply that everyone won't. I'm saying that this matchup assures better ratings than the other one. Now, in total, Super Bowl ratings have always been humongous. And I have to say that this idea that the NFL ratings are in the tank or the NFL is failing is crazy. There was a list of the NFC Championship and AFC Championship games played prior to this, right? And we had, we had a number of games that were, I think, in the 45 range, something like that, 43 or 45 range. The poorest ratings performance for an NFC or AFC championship game was in 2006, and that was 39. 39. And it's improved since then. So for anybody to write, although a couple of media people have written, all right, that the NFL ratings are at all-time lows for the playoffs, all-time, that's wrong. Now, that's fake news by people who are not admitting that it's fake news. But it is, because they didn't bother to look at the statistics and say, hey, you know what? We're wrong. Look at this. Just saying. There are people who want to, for reasons I'm not clear, maybe generational change. You know, 10 years ago, they were, 17? Now they're 27, working in some media outlet, have their own ideas, and they don't bother to look at history from 10 years ago when they were 17 and realize that, hey, the NFL ratings were lower then than they are now for the playoffs. Crazy stuff, man. Anyway, Hennessy predicts that Brady will retire. Otis says that when the Niners lost the NFC Championship game in 2011, I still watch the Super Bowl even though I want the New York Football Giants to win. No, Super Bowl is look. The Super Bowl is an American holiday. ID says, yeah, Bortles played great. Just they kept getting flags and kept trying to run the ball on a solid line. Jordan Yancey says, Cam Robinson had a problem with James Harris. You know what, though? A lot of the offensive tackles have had a problem with James Harris. You can't just blame that on Cam. Just saying. He did get his blocks on him. Patrick M. Blackman says, the last time a playoff team had one penalty through a playoff game, it was New England defeating Baltimore in the 2011 AFC Championship game. Patriots had only one penalty. Crawford says the last 3 NFC Championship games have been blowouts. Yeah, that's true, they have. That's quite true. That's quite true. I'm going to tweet this out, by the way. Oh, by the way, if you're on Facebook, would you please share this? If you got nothing better to do. Would be nice, thanks. Anybody, just take a little link and paste it into your Facebook field and say hashtag live stream, right? Meanwhile, I'll do that on Twitter. And Aaron Blaylock says the news about the NFL going broke and the ratings being low started by the media all over it was over the NFL protest thing. I think you're right about that, the player protest. If you disagree with it, fine, but don't just use that as a basis to come up with fake news, because that's what was done. That's absolutely what was done. Hey, welcome to Zenny62, and I asked this question. I'm going to tweet this out right now. Come on, Zenny, get your act together. Tweet it out. Oh, by the way, please, there's 23 of you on here right now. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. There's only like 6 of you that have thumbed up. Thumb up, please. Thank you very, very much. It would be nice. Hey, just as a word of note, the thumbs up is only just, it's kind of nice to see. It has no bearing on how many people see this or not. If you say, it just doesn't. It's just kind of a nice thing to have. I'm just letting you know, because some people think, hey, if I thumb this down, no one will see it. That's not the way it works. Actually, it's in the reverse. Just letting you know that. Oh, by the way, the more you comment, even just a comment, the more popular you make the videos. Just saying, for those of you who just, want to comment. Now, having said that, there are comments I do not allow in. I don't allow in garbage, as many of you know. There is a better, far better. I mean, much far better. Much better. Much better potential revenue gain from having a YouTube channel that has a clean set of discussions rather than a lot of the junk you see around. Meaning, brands want to put money on your channel. You see what I'm after? So, there you go. Just a little note, little FYI for those of you who are curious about how this sort of thing works, right? Okay, now, tweeting this thing out for posterity. And let's see here. Problem loading page. Mozilla Firefox. Hey, is Barry Lee? Barry Lee, you still around? Maybe Barry. Barry, if you are still around, please. A new tweet with hashtag Patriots. Hashtag Patriots. Yeah. Hashtag Patriots. How about that? Otis B, thank you for the thumbs up very much. Thank you. Okay, now I am, oops. Does anybody have, let me ask a question, okay. I'm going to ask this a different way. Do you think the Patriots are going to win Super Bowl 52? Yes or no? Y for yes, N for no. Start typing it in and hit return, and I will announce the tally as we go along. How does that sound? Okay. Hold on a second. And wow, this is not my day for quick website response. Hold on a second. Whoops. There we go. All right, there's that. Update. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me try this again. Okay. Share. No. Folks, this is one of those days. Hold on a second. All right, try that again. And where is it? This is Firefox browser is being really weird. What I'm talking about is this. Let me show you, okay? Show and tell this, okay? I put a paste in to paste in the title, and I'm still waiting for it. Now it comes in because it knows that I'm actually outing it. It's like, hey, look, I'm going to put you out before the public because you're not behaving right. Firefox. Ugh. Now, put that out there, and I'm going to go over to YouTube, put this as a hashtag NFL, and then hashtag live stream there, and then I'll hit return. Where's Steve Macy? Steve Macy had a question for me on Twitter, but I was looking for Steve to get here. I was looking for Steve Macy to get his button here so I can answer his question. Where you at, Steve Macy? That's what I'm looking for. Mr. Macy, you out there? Get your tail in here. As they say in the old westerns. Get your tail in here, boy. Yeah. Where you at? Where you at? Anybody ever watch Gunsmoke? One of my favorite programs coming up with Festus. You walk around there, and yeah, I saw you messing around, and you've been messing around. That's how Festus talked. Anyway, but I digress. Love to have fun and talk about Gunsmoke. So here's the talent. Hey, Mike Lowry is here. So we've got Otis says the NFL might want the Patriots to win another Super Bowl in light of the recent controversy regarding Brady, Belichick, and Kraft. I don't think they care about that. I don't think anyone cares about that. That's more under the heading of, you know, you're talking about me, great, spell my name right. If you're wondering why my eyes are going down, it's because I'm looking down at the computer right here. And so right now the tally as far as wins, my opinion about Patriots trading a benched QB, hey, it's not the first time they did it with Jacoby Brissett, right? So Jacoby Brissett, and they got rid of Mr. Brissett. Well, I didn't get rid of him. I don't mean to talk as if that's some sort of pejorative, but Garoppolo and Brissett are both gone. And I think, look, if you've got a situation where you know that person's not going to play and you're not going to pay him, and at the end of the day, you're going to wind up paying them more money than you want to pay them, you've got to basically allow them to go someplace else, particularly if they're as talented as Jimmy and Jacoby, the two J's. That's where that looked. And how nice for the Patriots to have a wealth of quarterbacks so they were able to do that. And so right now we got Blackman says yes to Pats because of the refs. Mike Lowry says no. Binsman says yes. Black Lion says yes. Otis B sadly says yes. Worst in Class doesn't answer. Mr. Fernandez doesn't say his preference, but he just says way good brothers and sisters. Let's see here. And that's it. Except that Aaron Blaylock informs us that Gunsmoke was his dad's favorite. And Citron points to Matt Cassell as another example. Black Lion Supreme says The Rifleman was his favorite show. Ed says Oakland Raiders forever. Vegas, all that glitters ain't gold. Streaming while beaming says, how about them Cowboys? Fly, Eagles, fly. And Aaron Blaylock says, no, the Patriots will not beat the Eagles. To which I add a big, fat no. The Patriots will not beat the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Stallone will be at the Super Bowl with this jersey on. Rick Rice claims Joe Flacco is elite. Proving once again that, you know, weed makes our brains do so many things. which is why I don't use it. Streaming Willie says Eagles versus the refs. Hey, there you go. So, and I'm not implying that you do, Rick Rice. I'm teasing, all right? I'm teasing. I am teasing. It was a joke. A joke. You know, like, that kind of joke, right? So, Steaming Willie. And what's Steaming Willie? Oh, you mean steaming or Steamboat Willie? What does that mean? Steaming Willie. I don't know. Okay. This is about Tuesday. If you're in Oakland, Tuesday morning, 8:30, you want to go to 1221 Oak Street. Not 1221 Broadway. No. 1221 Oak Street. That is the Alameda County Administrative Headquarters. And that is where the Oakland Fan Coalition, including Forever Oakland, will hold its press conference. Okay? And the situation, again, to repeat, is it's a meeting before the Board of Supervisors meeting, and they're inviting everybody. Once the news conference is over at 9 o'clock, to join them on the fifth floor, of the same address, 1221 Oak Street, for the hearing where they being the Oakland Fan Coalition, hoping that they have the votes to basically restart discussion of and set in motion set in motion actions to sue the Raiders and the National Football League for not acting in good faith in retaining the Raiders in Oakland. That's the whole point. Now, do they have a great chance of winning? They have a stupendous chance of winning. I really do. I've always believed that. It's just a matter of taking action. And this is a great first step. I'm cautious in my comments because, hey, there's always that ridiculous argument that could come up, right? But I firmly believe that with all the behind-the-scenes work that Ray Bobbitt has done in particular, who should be given a medal, I firmly believe that this time they got it right. I really believe that. I believe that this time they've got it right. Now, that's Tuesday. That's on Tuesday. So we've got, hold on a second. What I did as I was talking to you is I restarted Firefox in the computer because it was just so slow. And I didn't understand what the buffering jazz was about, all right? And I had to make that go away, and the best way to make it go away is to restart your computer. And that's what I'm doing. So it's so I'm restarting it, and I'll get to your comments written in the text once I do complete this operation. But yeah, so there we go. And for those of you keeping score as well, I am welcome to Zenny62. Welcome to a recap of the AFC and NFC Championship games. Donald Richardson is in the house. If you're watching this as video on demand, I'm reading some of the chats, most of them. I always skillfully skip over chats that are, if they don't, if they manage to get through the filters that we have, aren't worth reading. And I always read the ones that are, well, worth reading and family friendly and everything else, right? So there you go. We've got, now what I'm going back to do right now is go to the live stream. Hey, do you realize that Zenny62 on YouTube has over 72 million views? That's right, 72 million views. Also, for those of you who don't know, Tom Brady is not retiring. Just saying that out. Tom Brady is not retiring. And that was a trick of a guy who made a fake Ian Rappaport Twitter account. Poor Ian. Not cool at all. So Aaron Blaylock says, "Hey Aaron, how are you?" Rick Rice says, "Hey Zinni, what do you think the Vikings will do with a quarterback situation?" You know, I'm glad you said that because I didn't like what Troy Aikman seemed to imply about Teddy Bridgewater saying, well, he hasn't thrown in 2 years, he's got a bum knee, knowing full well he can play. Why? And I would love to ask Troy Aikman why it sounded like he was so willing to throw the former Louisville quarterback and NFL, well, he should have been high first round pick, but he wound up being a high second round pick of the Vikings under the bus. It didn't make any sense to me that he did that. But as Otis B just wrote in the chats, it should be Bridgewater. It really should. And Donald Richardson says, I heard from Dion that Teddy's got a shot. Rick Rice says Teddy Bridgewater, yeah, you're right, he was first round. What happened was that, you know where I got confused? This is where I got confused. He was first round. The Vikings came back and got him in the first round. But what happened was that at the draft, by the time his name was announced, Teddy was so convinced he wasn't going to be drafted in the first round, he left. This was in New York. And he came back the next day to do his interview. And that's where I got confused because the NFL draft second round is on the second day. And so, you know, memories being what they are, I kind of put that out of my head that, hey, he was drafted in the first round because my interview with Teddy Bridgewater occurred on day 2 when he came out to meet the media. So, anyway, Ed says, I don't care about Tom Brady retiring. I want the Raiders to stay in Oakland forever. Black Lion says, I would love to see Bridgewater in silver and black. I would too, but yeah, I would too. But beyond Bridgewater, I want to see the Raiders run a modern system. No huddle, multiple offense, pre-shifts, offensive, wide line splits, exotic uses of hybrid formations. That's what I want to see. Something that is really so difficult to defend that it's frustrating for a defense to even consider facing. That's what I want to see. Steve Macy is here. He said he had internet problems. Did I already talk lawsuit? I mentioned it, but Steve, I'm happy to talk about it again for you. Let me, in fact, speaking of lawsuit, I'm going to read to you right now, or as I say, right now, and in full, I'm going to read to you the announcement in full as it appears at Oakland News Online, the best and only active blog about Oakland news. Only active, daily updated blog about Oakland news. Zinni62 Media's Oakland News Online. So I'm going to read to you right here. Right as soon as this opens, and it's opening, what's said. And by the way, this is a great weekend for Zinni62 Media because I had my friend Morgan at the Women's March who agreed to be a Zinni62 remote vlogger, and my friend Beth Schnitzer is at the JP Morgan Tournament of Champions for squash. She sent over some videos. Richard Hike is going to represent us Tuesday morning to do a live stream at the press conference. So Zinni62 Media is everywhere you want to be. That's the way this is setting up to design it. Was at CES Las Vegas, as you know, 2 weeks ago. Now, let me go back and read to you the news. All right, this is the news. The title is Oakland Raiders fans announce news planned lawsuit versus Raiders NFL Las Vegas relocation. And here's how it goes. This is press release, St. Louis legal aftermath creates new opportunities for Oakland community. I didn't write the press release. News conference, Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018, 8:30 in the morning, steps of Alameda County Building, 1221 Oak Street, Oakland, California, 94612. Oakland, California, here's the text. Approximately 1 year ago, a committed, impassioned group of area citizens and business owners organized to keep the Oakland Raiders professional football team intact and in Oakland, citing potential harm to the local economy among their grievances. Their efforts did not result in the team staying. Rather, the overwhelming majority of NFL owners, 31-1, voted to relocate the Raiders to Las Vegas, or at least begin the process. That implies that the Raiders are gone. They're not gone! In fact, that gets to another point. Do you realize that on Friday, the Coliseum Joint Powers Authority, the Coliseum Joint Powers Authority held a meeting behind closed doors. To extend the Raiders' lease at the Coliseum. Yeah. Anyway, it says that subsequently, the December 17th decision by the Missouri Circuit Court, 22nd Judicial Court, City of St. Louis, all right, connected to the relocation of the former St. Louis Rams to Los Angeles, left the City of St. Louis in arrears, giving way to legal precedent and next steps from Oakland community organizers. Next steps will be announced during a news conference with We Stand with Oakland spokesperson Raymond Bobbitt, joined by key participants, and this includes Forever Oakland, who will address, and the bullet points follows, the St. Louis, Missouri legal advantage against the Los Angeles Rams and the NFL regarding relocation, interest from a number of world-class law firms offering to represent Alameda County under a full contingency agreement, which will allow Alameda County to explore legal options regarding the Raiders and the NFL without financial risk to taxpayers. Through legal exploration, Alameda County can secure funding to cure the current bond debt, the Raider bonds, and retire the annual interest from those same Raider bonds. Alameda County can keep professional football in Oakland and or retain license to secure a professional football franchise in Oakland, a municipality fully equipped to house an NFL team. I would say host, but that's me. Alameda County would include professional football as an anchor tenant to complete the Coliseum-specific plan. So there's the outline. I just read to you the bullets, the main points that will be made at the news conference coming up this Tuesday, okay? So, going back to read your comments right now, and it says, hey, Donald Richardson, what's your link all about? I don't like to click on links if I don't know what they are, but maybe I should, given that it's Donald. Let's see here. Trouble is that when he does click on that link, it doesn't open a new, yeah, it does, a new page. Excuse me, it does open a new page. I stand corrected. So while that's opening, here I go again with the Firefox and buffering. I'll read the rest of your comments. And what was that? Where did that come from? Donald says, I'm here. Oh, I see. Colin Kaepernick. Rick Rice. Oh, I see. Cap plays for the Raiders. Donald Richardson said, there was an article out there that Gruden is going to take a hard look at Kaepernick. Oh, really? That's where this started. Okay. I get you. Let's see here. Well, it says, welcome to the end of the internet. I can't find the page you're looking for. That's what it says. I'm not making this up, folks. Take a look. All right. I click the link that Donald Richardson provided, and that's what it reads. Welcome to the end of the internet. Sorry. So, not that I don't believe you. Links don't. Wait a minute. Now this is coming into relief. Hold on a second. But still not with the news that I'm looking for. Okay. How about this? Gruden. How about I just type in Gruden and Colin? Gruden and Colin. The simple fact that John Gruden would announce he's going to take a hard look at Colin Kaepernick says this. And no, I found it. Hey, here we go. Look at this. Bing. Report. John Gruden may be considering Raiders signing Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick a phone call away from being Raiders' backup quarterback. Colin Kaepernick to the Raiders almost makes too much sense. All I have to do is, I have to say this. If that really does happen, woohoo! That would be really great. That would be just fantastic. I mean, you know, you talk about making the right decisions, taking the right actions in the effort to put together a winning squad. That would be fantastic. It would also mean that Derek Carr would have to start looking over his shoulder. Colin Kaepernick is not E.J. Manuel. I'm just saying. He's just not. Thank you for pointing that out to us, Donald Richardson. And, oh, by the way, while I'm at it, I need to make a bit of a correction here, speaking of news, because I need to clean up that whole other video I have out there regarding Tom Brady retiring, the one that I put out just 18 minutes after I saw what I thought was NFL Network Ian Rappaport's tweet. I have to actually change the title from, hey, he's retiring, to, nope, he's not. Not this one. There was another video I had out there. See here. Hey, Go CSU is still around. Are you still around? I'm going to give away to you in a little bit. So hold on a second. I am going to make that adjustment, and I'll come right back to you. Tomorrow, I want to make a special announcement. Tomorrow, well, more evening, I will have a special, truly special guest. And Craig Houlgate, the CEO of Oscar Wellness, is going to be my guest to talk about the NFL, CES and tech and sports, his picks for the upcoming Super Bowl, and just how much fun we had at CES 2018. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, I'm correcting this Tom Brady title to read Tom Brady, New England Patriots quarterback. See, to not retire. I'm putting not retire, okay? To not retire. Yeah. And I'm copying this and I'm saying update. Update. To not retire. Tom Brady. Brady. Got it. Okay, Tom Brady. All right. Because that was the original tweet that I made. I would have. That still steams me, you know? It really just steams me that happened. Yeah, I ought to report that guy. I ought to have his Twitter account taken down. Why I ought to. Whatever. Did it. Okay, now that's gone. I ought to tell Ron Howard about this. Maybe he can make a movie about fake tweets. Rick Rice says, God, I hope not. This is about Colin Kaepernick coming to the Raiders. And Rick Rice claims that Cap has lost his strength and gotten too weak. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to repeat, okay? I am just not going to repeat that because and Rick Rice, I'll tell you why I'm not going to repeat that one, because that's the kind of comment where you need your own outlet, okay, to write that, to say that. You need to show your face and say that on your channel. I am not going to read that on mine. Others have seen it. I am not going to repeat it with my voice. Sorry. That's where you need to get your own channel. Now, and so Black Lion Supreme says, John, where did I find that story? We got it. And yeah, the story is out there. I think he would be a fantastic addition. And I do think we should sign Colin Kaepernick. Yes, absolutely. Otis B says, even though the Niners weren't good in 2016 when Cap came in, he still made some plays. But here's the thing, all right, with Kaepernick. He represents the Raiders' best opportunity to run a modern NFL system. No huddle, read option, or elements of it. I think he represents the best opportunity for that. He also, I mean, it's something else too. He also represents an opportunity for the Raiders to have a really great stable of quarterbacks. What bothers me about the whole issue with Derek Carr is something I've said before in the past. The Raiders Nation has gotten upset with me that he was set up to be the starter, okay? That he was set up to be the starter. And by that, when I say set up to be the starter, they never gave him a true competition to win it. They gave him more chances to win it because they seemed to want it. It was more like beyond the call of Del Rio and more Mark Davis working with the NFL to establish the Raiders as a stronger brand by putting in their fair-haired boy, if you will, and Derek Carr, and then building around him, and then creating triplets. I mean, think about it. They had Latavius Murray, great running back. Then we brought in the incredible but still not well utilized Amari Cooper, and we had Derek Carr. So the triplets, like the triplets term comes from the Cowboys and Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin, right? That was that marketable offense, that model is very much the modern variant of Roger Staubach, Tony Dorsett, and Drew Pearson, and of course you want to add Tony Hill in the past, or Ken Stabler, Cliff Branch, Mark Van Egan, the great fullback, and of course our other, Fred Biletnikoff, right? But my point is every offense has had its triplets through time. Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth. There seemed to be this effort to make the Raiders marketable in that way. Recognizable heroes of which you wanted to buy and wear their jerseys. And so Derek Carr, the second-round pick from Fresno State for the Raiders, record-setting quarterback, great guy, became the marketable person. Look at, and do we forget that we threw a lot of money at him and made him, for a few weeks, the highest-paid player in NFL history before Matt Stafford got his $135 million contract? So I say all that to say this. Think about, you don't set up a winning quarterback that way. Roger Staubach, when he came up through with the Dallas Cowboys, he had a complete battle. Not physical battle, but competitive battle with Craig Morton. Craig Morton was the not-so-mobile standard drop-back passer. Roger Staubach, the scrambler. Roger Dodger. Okay? That was the Dallas Cowboys, the late 1960s and early 1970s. And out of that, Roger Staubach emerged as the competitor. Tom Brady wasn't the favorite quarterback. Drew Bledsoe went down. We know what happened after that. Troy Aikman came in. He was penciled in. He got beat up and had to fight his way through. The Cowboys' early years was some of the worst in Dallas Cowboys history when he was with them. Okay? I can go on and on and on with example after example after example of quarterbacks that were quite literally honed and refined through intense competition. Derek Carr did not go through that. So, Don Richard says the thing about Cap is you get a quarterback that people are going to respect on both sides of the ball. And Black Lion says, signing Cap will prove that we will never have the issue we had last year in Washington under Del Rio. That's right. All for one and one for all. And Go CSU says, hey, for my live stream, have your, okay, he's going to do his live stream. Aaron Blaylock says, Gruden like Tuiasosopo, Cap will be much better. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Gruden did like Tuiasosopo, the mobile QB. And the mobile QB. And so, let's see here. Don Richards says, him and Craig had a locker room fight. Is that right? That Roger Staubach and Craig Morton... You're right! Roger Staubach and Craig Morton did have a locker room fight. You're absolutely right about that. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're right about that. And you're absolutely right about that. So there we go. Now, do I believe it's a good move? I think it's an outstanding move. I really do. I really do. So, okay, so there we have it, folks, because I'm going to head for the sunset and make room for my friend. Go Warriors. If he hasn't started his stream already, has he started his stream? Go Warriors, have you started your stream? Let me check. Let me see if he started his stream here. Let's see here. John Richard says he's happy either way. No. Well, you haven't started your stream. Okay. All right. That no didn't come from me. It came from him. All right. So you go ahead and start your stream whenever you're ready, okay? Donald Richards says, what's his link? Actually, Donald, what you should do is when he starts, go back to the Zenny 62 homepage, and you should see not one, but two live streams going at once, and I think you can know what he looks like versus me, right? Just check it out. In fact, Go Warriors, go ahead and start that up because I want to show folks what that looks like, okay? So, will you start that up? Are you going to start that right now? Give me a thumbs up or a yes or something. Give me a heads up or something. And Aaron Blaylock says it wasn't Craig Morton, it was a young QB that sunk a bunch Staubach. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, now we're getting our history mixed up, and I apologize for contributing to that. You're talking about Clint Longley. Clint Longley was the one-game hero of the Dallas Cowboys, and if memory serves, I believe, I'm going to say this is like 1974, and Longley took over a quarterback for Staubach against the Redskins and won, and thought he was big, you know what, and everything else, but his behavior got the best of him. I'm only going by memory. Let me just, instead of going by memory, no, it's not your bad. This is good. This is a good internet, a good reason why we got the internet, because all I have to do is go to Google or whatever search engine pops up here and type Clint Longley, right? In fact, we can find out. Let's find out what happened to Clint Longley, all right? And, okay, we've got, hold on a second, Clint Longley, wait a minute, that's Client Longley, Clint Longley. All right, so Clint Longley, Clint Longley. I'm typing Clint Longley. And there's some video going around that's viral about Juilliard. Clint Longley is now 65 years old, born in Wichita Falls, Texas, okay? And, yeah, he traded to the Chargers and fizzled out, right. Howard Clint Longley, born July 28th, 1952, a full 10 years before me. Educated at Abilene Christian, Texas, has an NFL QB rating of 67.1, forever to be cemented in his history. And, all right, now it says he played 2 seasons for the Dallas Cowboys and 1 for the San Diego Chargers. Talks about his early years, total career, Dallas Cowboys. Oh, here it is. Here it is. He is best remembered for his performance in a Thanksgiving Day game in 1974. Hey, I got the year right! Yeah! Against the Washington Redskins. Longley, then a rookie, came into the game for an injured Roger Staubach with the Cowboys trailing 16-3 in the third quarter, facing elimination from the playoffs after hitting Billy Joe Dupree for a 35-yard touchdown pass tied in. He led the Cowboys on a 70-yard drive, capped by a 1-yard Walt Garrison touchdown. Walt Garrison. All right, I'm Walt Garrison. Finally, with the Cowboys behind 23-17 and with only 28 seconds left, with no timeouts, Longley hit Drew Pearson down the middle for a 50-yard Hail Mary touchdown pass, which gave the Cowboys a dramatic 24-23 come from behind win. Because Longley had no expectation of playing in that game and was completely unprepared, Cowboys lineman Blaine Nye, oh, that's right, I forgot about this. This is funny. Blaine Nye sarcastically called his winning effort the triumph of the uncluttered mind. I completely forgot about that. Oh, boy. The game was named the second best in the history of Texas Stadium on ESPN in 2008. After a training room incident in which he sucker punched Roger Staubach during the 1976 preseason game. The team suspended and eventually traded Longley to San Diego for first and second round draft choices. The Cowboys used those 2 picks and other 2 picks to eventually land the number 2 overall pick in 1977, selecting Tony Dorsett. So there you go. All right, now, let's go back to Zinny62 and go to YouTube. Excuse me, YouTube. And let's see what the fun looks like here. Now that we've got, I think, 2 streams going at once, right? Looks like we do, because mine is still kicking along. And we've got NFL Game Day. That's highlights by, well, that's not me. Let's see here. Go to my channel. See what that looks like. See what the cat dragged in, as it were. Okay, so this is what it looks like, all right? This is what's capable on Zenny62 blog right now. Okay, here, have a look. This is what you can see. See, all right, see that? Now, isn't that cool? We have 2, not one, we have 2 live streams. We got my live stream, right? And then we have Go Warriors, AFC, NFC Championship review. All right, so there, right? Isn't that cool? That is really cool. We've got a network. We got a network, folks. This is cool. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's bad. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I got so excited. I got so excited I dropped the camera. Sorry about that. That's cool. And we can have 3 of these, right? We can have one on, this. We have another one on, Academy Awards. All this, right? Streets folding up. Just zzz, right? Wouldn't that be so cool? You could jump from one to the other, like going to a mall, a cyber mall, right? Oh, go over here and see what Zenny has to say, or go over here and see what Go Warriors I keep saying Go Warriors, go CSU. He was Go Rams, then go CSU, and then Go Warriors, and Go Raiders, and go. But the whole point is you can see what he has to say, right? It's all over the place. Now, let me go back to where I was, which is my stream with you. So I can, we have 22 watching right now, and including you. And I want to say, hey, let's go over to Go Warriors and give him some, you know, of our attention and then everything else, so that that's happening, okay? So this is, wait a minute, this is strange. This is buffering. It's a bit slow. Let's see what happens. It's is more a Firefox thing. I'm gonna say, oh, oh, yeah. Black Light says very cool. Yeah, I think it's. Rick Rice says, ding. Yeah, right on. I think it's cool too. I really do. It's just interesting because this is buffering on Firefox. It's like buffer, 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 right? I'm like, why is this buffering? So let me and I can clearly see your comments as they come up, right? Dilly, in fact, as I am fond of saying dilly dilly, I will say dilly dilly, dilly dilly, dilly dilly, dilly dilly. And Donald says, come over to that Chrome file. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to come over to Chrome because Firefox is really disappointing. I'm looking for my famous, I don't see it, I had it. My little dilly dilly thing, it's dilly dallied. Oh, I had my little dilly dilly, that's sad. I had my dilly dilly, it's dilly dallied. It ain't dillying anymore. Whatever. Bitcoin? No. I'm gonna give you a little advice about Bitcoin as I look around here. I don't see it. Hey, don't buy, there it is. Dilly dilly, dilly dilly dilly. Don't buy Bitcoin, mine Bitcoin. Get yourself a computer, you know, put it out there in the black somewhere and just let that little thing run, okay? You know what I mean? Just let it, just do its thing, okay? That's my recommendation for you. It's interesting how this is not coming, oh, it's not, oh, I know what I'll do. Oh, you know what it is? Excuse me. It's because I've got two pages open at once. All right, let me close that page. And that's why, okay. Oh, okay, I see what happened. I had the same page open twice. And that's why I had one screen that was black and buffered. I didn't realize it was doing that at all. All right, 25 of you watching. Otis B says, looks like the Cavs are totally slumping right now. Joseph Bin says Cavs are sucking right now. I think LeBron is leaving in the summertime. Warriors. Warriors. Hey, folks, let's all go over and I'm going to close down this live stream. Let's all go over. There's all 25 of you there, right? Go to Zenny62, the channel. Go to Go Warriors and let's give him some, you know, attention and all that, okay? On the count of 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shutting this down. Going over to check out Go Warriors. All right, I'll see you all over there, folks.